something wrong with me. Something wrong with me.
You ate me? What do you mean you ate me? Listen, buddy. I don't kink shame. Alright, I don't kink shame, alright, but you're gonna get into the realm of vor. I might have to ask you to leave. I might have to see you out. Again, I don't kink shame, but we have to draw a line somewhere, alright? We gotta draw a line somewhere. Personally, I don't understand it. I've never understood the fascination of eating another person. Like vor is the fetish of swallowing someone whole. You don't chew on them, no, that would be too cruel and inhumane. But vor is where you swallow somebody. Like that's it. I don't get it. Maybe it has to do with being inside of someone's throat. Like, I guess that's a thing. I don't get it. It's not for me. It's not for me, but to each their own. Ultimately, to each their own. Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and get that message out there. God, oh, praise the heaven. Also, yeah, green or purple grapes. I don't like grapes. I don't like fruit. I'm not big on fruit. I could live without fruit, generally speaking. Like the only fruit that I actively consume are apples. I don't like much other fruit. I don't know, truth be told, it's mostly like, I'm not a picky eater. The only thing I'm picky with is fruit. I will eat anything placed in front of me, even fruit, but the thing that I dislike genuinely is fruit. I don't like fruit. It's mostly a texture thing. It really is. It's mostly a consistency thing. It's mostly a consistency thing. It's something about the fibers, the fibrousness, fibrosity, whatever the right word is, whatever the right adjective is, and something to the effect of, I just don't like it. I'm allowed to not like it, right? That's okay. I'm allowed to dislike fruit. So there's a very strong difference between a smoothie and juice and eating fruit whole. What I'm talking about is eating fruit whole. I'm not talking about like smoothies and juice. I'm talking about eating whole fruit, like raw fruits. I'm not a fan unless it's an apple. That's just me. That is my preference. I don't like watermelon. It's like I'm eating watery styrofoam. I don't take pleasure in eating watermelon. I really don't. It's not for me. This is nonsense. I'm not a fan. My fruit comes in the form of banana Lappy Taffy. Dude, I could live entirely off of banana Lappy Taffy. Do I turn my webcam on? I'm having a bad hair day. I don't know if I should turn my webcam on because I am having a very bad hair day and I feel self-conscious. Tell me you like mangoes? No, I don't like mango. I don't like fruit. I just don't enjoy eating it. Like, I don't get sick. I'm not gonna gag if like a bowl of berries is put in front of me, but I'm not gonna go crazy with it. You know, it's not that I'm bald. I didn't put any product in my hair, so it's a little, you know, it's a little crazy today. Also, because it's really hot, my forehead is extra shiny because it's just a hot motherfucker today. So I'm not looking my best. I'm weathering the storm. Not the storm. I'm weathering the summer because of how miserably hot it is. Like, I could start putting my hair this way, right? Putting it on the opposite direction, like on my good side where the camera is showing, but it's just... Today is not a good day for the hair or the skin. It's really not good. Just sucks getting old, man. You lose your hair and not much you can do about it. You can use products, you can do a variety of things, but oh well. Yeah, YouTube's adding a lot of... YouTube's been really fucked lately. Like, I tried to start my stream today, and every chat feature was broken. Like, the chat would not show up in OBS, I couldn't apply my CSS code so I can have the transparent background. Nothing was working. Really annoying. So I had to back update to a 2-year-old version of OBS in order for chat to even show up. YouTube's got the AI nonsense going on with the chat summaries. I don't know if y'all been seeing this, but like, for the past week, I've been getting porn streams on my homepage for YouTube. Like, I go to YouTube and I see like a half-naked woman that is who's obviously afraid of a razor, who's never shaved in their life, just appearing on my homepage. Yeah, see? You too! And like, other people I know have been seeing these. Like, what's happening over at Google? Hello? You gotta get your shit together, man. Are you complaining? Yes, I'm complaining about getting pornography on my YouTube homepage. I don't want to see porn on my YouTube homepage. And then, like, I refresh the page, and it's gone, and then, like, replaced with another. It's nasty shit. I don't like it. Am I excited for Minecraft? Yes, actually, I need to mod you, because you're my friend. There we go. Unrelated comment, but why do you think there is no hatless soldier cosmetic? Because Soldier without his eyes being covered looks weird. I think that's the primary reason, because it just looks really weird. Kind of like how Engineer looks weird without his goggles. Same reason for Soldier not having a helmet. I think that's the problem. Also, we're playing on my TF2 server today, so come hang out. We're just chilling. That's all we're doing. Yeah, helmetless Soldier looks strange. Yeah. Also, yes, I have a Minecraft skin ready. Some of y'all probably heard. I'm partaking in a survival multiplayer Minecraft event. I'll probably post... I'll post it in my Discord next week because it doesn't start until the 16th. But me and a bunch of other YouTubers and shit are getting together and we're playing Minecraft 1.7.3, but like an advanced version of the game. So that's gonna be fun. So let me quickly do this. Voice enable 0. DL underscore spray disable 1. Condoms are on. Do a brief bit of retry. I'm a weeb. Do I know what Uboa is other than the Yumai Nikki thing? I think it's a Japanese meme or something. Yeah, you tell me. I don't know. All right, now we can play the game. Also, it's been taking some getting used to playing with a vertical mouse. It's actually kind of challenging to play TF2 with a vertical mouse. It's been taking some getting used to. I'm working on it, but it is a challenge. Also, I got to adjust my sensitivity because it's a little bit tricky. Ooh. I'm walking that shit. And he lives... You know what? I need to use this. If we're gonna... No, I know. No. Keep third degree. Oh, yeah, I forgot that as well, Richter. TF underscore use underscore match HUD 0. Get rid of that shit. Oh! Just as God intended. Super ugly. Don't have to see that shit anymore. Go away. Why am I using a vertical mouse? For the sake of not hurting my wrist in the long run. And I have no more wrist pain. It's actually quite nice, but I'm having to get used to my fingers doing this a lot. Because you can't really use a claw grip. What is Match HUD? It is the awful HUD, this garbage, where you see all the players at the top of your screen, that they added in Meet Your Match, because TF2 has to be a heckin' competitive game, and you gotta know when all players are alive or dead at all times. Adding more visual noise to your screen, which is fucking garbage. But you have the lovely option of turning that shit off. It just feels better not having it on there. What FOV do I have? The highest it can go. Which is 90. I think. Also, please forgive me. I am extremely rusty. I've not played I played TF2 once in the past month, so I'm terrible. Waiter, more crap on my screen, please. I love overly busy HUDs. I love so many numbers and little dials and shit on my screen. It's so fun. I love it. Yes, it's more shit. More shit to micromanage on my screen, please. So I can't tell what the game I'm playing is. Bed bugs have been nibbling on my arm. Dude, maybe you should fumigate your home so you don't have to worry about bugs. That might be a good thing. I recommend that. Give that a shot. Give that a shot. No bed bugs. Oh, so also I missed another donation. People are apparently scrambling over a Mr. Beast expose. Oh, on YouTube, that's what you mean. Yeah, I've been hearing a little bit about that. I don't know what a Mr. Beast is. I've never seen a Mr. Beast video. I know he's like the biggest channel on YouTube, but other than that, I know absolutely nothing about it. I know nothing about the channel, and I don't really care because it's just not the content for me. But apparently he was harboring a pedophile, and apparently he's been engaging in some pretty awful business practices and really shady shit. So now he's getting called out for it, so hooray. But beyond that, that's really all I know. I know nothing else about Mr. Beast. Go away. Go away. Oh, now is my time to shine. I can help my team. The sniper shooting at me. Oh, there's a heavy there. And a sentry gun. That's a problem. I'm an old head, doesn't like Zoomer tubers. I just, first of all, I don't watch that much YouTube to begin with. I don't care about watching, like, slop content on YouTube. That's one thing. And then Mr. Beast, like, he just looks like super, like, I just look at his thumbnails, it looks like super mega corporate clickbait. I don't care. He's got 300 million subs. He's quite literally uncancelable, which is kind of depressing. I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine earlier. I know nothing about the channel, but I know that once YouTube channels reach a certain size, they basically become like Hollywood, where they effectively become too big to fail. And honestly, this guy is running such a machine that all he has to do is wait for this to blow over, and he'll be totally fine. That's my perception of this, because that's how Hollywood has operated for many years. I don't see how YouTube is any different. Not like I'm not condoning anything that is happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that all this motherfucker has to do is hunker down and keep squirting out content, and then third world children will keep watching it like nothing is happening, and he'll keep making money. So that's just how the world works. We all know that Disney sucks dick. We know that nothing good has come out of Disney for a very long time now. But they keep squirting out Marvel movies. Toddlers keep going to the theaters. Despicable Me 37 is coming out soon. And then boom shakalaka, $50 billion more to Disney. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. Listen, I'm not letting you live. I'm focusing solely on the engineer. Actually, no, I'm focusing on you guys first. Now I'll break the gun. And now I'll go back to you. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just contributing. Just helping. Just playing Pyro, holding 2 buttons, and moving my mouse around, and I win the game. We need to widen this chat window a bit. Hey Zesty, really enjoy your stuff and streams. Here's $10 since you'll definitely use it for better things in Valve. Also talk more about rocks sometimes. Geology was my favorite GE class. Sure. Absolutely. Just, I probably should. I rarely do, but, I'm glad you enjoy my content. I appreciate it. Much appreciated. Also, thank you, Richter, for the $2 to make my entire chat say thank you, Jill. Oh, gee, Bill, another Uber? I feel special. I feel... What do you think about that team-building exercise system message? I mean, it's cute that we're getting in-game system messages that aren't just the normal copy and paste one. I don't think anyone should take it beyond a funny message and assume that it's implying something greater. But it's funny. Already contacted the property manager, so right now I'll just have to have you in the background while I do laundry. Yeah, bed bugs suck. Bed bugs are no joke. They are really annoying and bad and sad. And also they suck your blood. Not fun. Get this guy out of here. How'd you get those classic flamethrower particles? I am using a visual fix mod that only works in community servers, and if you preload, I think it works in Valve servers. But it's a mod pack that I use that has a whole bunch of visual fixes. Just Google Ultimate Visual Fix TF2. It'll pop up. That's all you have to Google. Google Ultimate Visual Fix TF2, and then the Game Banana page will pop up, and it'll be there. But also make sure you download or you use the one that doesn't have models. Otherwise, it's gonna break your game. Show us your mods folder. No, I'm not going to show you all the files I have on my computer. Just use the power of Google. Google is your friend. Also, no, stop assuming Half-Life 3 is happening. Tyler, like the moron he is, blew up that Valve lake. It's Half-Life 3! No, it's not. It's some new fucking fantasy slop title that Valve is making, guaranteed to be derivative of Dota in some way. It's not Half-Life 3. It's some new game that Valve is experimenting with because they have a whole bunch of new hires. They gotta break them in, test what their limits are, see how many hours they can work them and grind them to the bone before they push out their real next big venture, which is Dota 2 Part 2. Or Deadlock, whatever mess that's gonna become. Which is effectively Dota 2 Part 2. So, don't expect much to come of whatever that fucking game is supposed to be. I'm gonna die. This is a problem. Why does Valve like to jerk off Dota so much? That's just what the developers like. The developers like MOBAs. They like fantasy slop, so that's all we're gonna get, is more fantasy slop. That's how it's gonna go. Do you think Valve will slow down the ban wave, or will they keep going? No idea. Ideally, whatever system they've implemented is going to keep working, but we have no idea how long it's going to keep working for. We simply do not know. You've blown your load, and now you die. So, hopefully, whatever system Valve implemented is just going to keep working, but as is with any anti-cheat, people always and inevitably find some kind of workaround. So, sooner rather than later, we will see. Get this fucking guy out of here. I am bad at this game. The thing I struggle with right now is moving my finger over to the scroll wheel to change my weapons because my knuckle, this joint locks up because of how I have to hold the mouse. It's very annoying. Like, if this mouse was 1.5 inches longer, then I think I would have a much better time using this mouse. But sadly, it is not. Ooh, please. You're one of those people that only listen to video game OSTs. The thing is, I can't play other music on stream. Otherwise, guess what? It's gonna get copyright struck. Give me a random crit. There we go. Why was he just taking it? He was just taking it. Like, did you not... Listen, I have random crits installed on my server. You might not want to let the 3rd degree pyro wail on you. I have a plan. I have a plan. I have a plan. I want to shoot some rockets. Fuck. Yeah, I'd rather not have my stream copyright struck. I would like to use... I like getting some passive revenue. That is always nice to have. So, I don't think I want to shoot myself in the foot. Stash is goated. I'm still getting mixed responses on the mustache status. What do y'all think? What does this current chat in this moment in time think of the mustache? Because I can always grow back a beard. That's not an issue. But I'm kind of enjoying the mustache. I'm gonna let it keep growing longer. Like this, it's not gonna stay at this size. I want to get to Robotnik levels of stash power. Then I will be happy. If I can do that, then I'll be satisfied. You're hot. Looks really good. Get the real Macho Man vibes. I'm keeping it for it's sticking around for now. British? Thankfully, I'm not British. Shave your head and grow a goatee. Oh, listen, I don't think my hair is that far gone yet, alright? Give me a random crit. Fuck. Put on sunglasses and look like a cop. I could do that. Someone once said look like Dahmer in German. I've been compared to so many people at this point in time. I don't know what to make of it. I am many things. I am all things. Can't push anywhere because snipers exist. Made into your glasses hiding, but I think you need to use some products in your eyebrows to make them bushier. Are my eyebrows too thin?
The control point is being captured. Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Too thin? I don't know. I don't know, I've never had bushy eyebrows, which I suppose isn't a bad thing. I don't know why it would be a bad thing. Actually, I'm gonna focus on people that don't have that in their butt. Here, you die now. You die now. Here, double... Here, I have a plan. Ah! Sorry, I took your ammo, NG. I'm mewing. What is mewing? I know it's like pressing your tongue to the top of your mouth. That you bitch! You knocked him out of the path of my flare. Not that it would have killed him. I don't think it would have, but would have been funny. Oh, I got an air shot on that flare. Look at me go. I'm good at the game. Improving jaw. Well, I know, like, the purpose of mewing is to improve your jawline, but... Without my glasses is mega cursed, is it? Is this a worse or better look, my friends? Is this a... With or without the nuts? In this case, the glasses. Worse! Everyone's just saying worse. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to die. Oh, we have a battalion soldier. Just gonna whip him. Whip him. Do your thing. Cool, I guess. A clutch 30 health is not gonna save me here. 20 health is not gonna save me here. I don't know what to do. What do I do? You basically open your mouth slightly to accentuate your chin and look semi-goofy. How much is slightly? Like... I can see that I'm going to have to teach you how to be villains! Suck in your cheeks. No! We're doing it right. You don't always have to get it. What do you mean I'm too... Listen, I suspect that one is never too old to strengthen their jawline. So how am I too old to understand mewing? What's good, indeed.
We have secured the control point.
Here, medicinal man, assist me. Oh my god, I can't rocket jump. I'm so bad at the game. Oh, please, God. I need this mouse is not... So, also, center of gravity on this mouse, if I rapidly flick it, it tilts. I have to, like, press this mouse down on the mouse pad, otherwise I can't rocket jump. It's so annoying. Like, I wish this was just... It needs to be 2.5 inches longer, 2.5 inches flatter. Listen, it's all for the sake of better wrist health. It's all for the sake of better wrist health. That's all it needs to be. What is with my sensitivity? What is... Okay, something's up with my mouse. Okay, what's going on here? What is okay, something has changed. What is going on with my mouse? I was rocket jumping fine yesterday. Today I'm not. What is happening? There's a button on the mouse that changes sensitivity. Ah. Oh, that's the issue. Okay. There's my problem. So, let me just walk out of there, lose all my health. Not a problem. There we go. There we go. Now I got the sensitivity boost I needed. Well, he had low health, but I got him. Wish Viaduct had more flank routes. Yeah. You have, like, the improved version, or quote-unquote improved versions that people play in, like, competitive modes and what have you. So that helps a little bit with having to push down this awful choke here. Like, you actually have a chance against the sniper that has himself posed on the other side. But with the current version of this map, you cannot push out on the point without getting just raped by snipers. Oh yeah, it's a Logitech mouse. I didn't pay for my subscription, although so therefore I'm having just a worse experience. Come on. What's special about the mouse? It's a vertical mouse, which is meant to improve my wrist health and my ligament health in my arms and wrists. And my fingers. But, thus far, not really experiencing that all too much. If anything, experiencing a more frustrating experience with my games. You'll have to watch an ad to move your mouse again every 15 minutes. Oh, God. I mean, that is the future, where everything is going to become a service. You will no longer be allowed to purchase anything. You have to pay monthly subscriptions for literally everything. You want to go to the mall? The fuck? Go away. Oh my god, I can't aim at all. We're good. I'm out of fucking ammo. Come here, bitch. I win. I'm looks maxing? What does that even mean? What the fuck does that mean? What is this fucking word you're using? And there's a sentry there, apparently. In the fucking house?! Equalizer's pathetically weak. The base damage shouldn't be 133. But then when you're low health, you do over 100. It's so fun. Doing that is just like just fucking doming someone for 100 damage when you're low health is just so satisfying. I love it. Personally, I think it's great. I don't know about you. I think it's awesome. Is that sentry gun still there? Go away. Oh, well, what's going on in here? Big fucking mess. Yes, the equalizer does random crit, so you can just smack the shit out of somebody for like 300 damage. It's fucking great. You gotta love it. Whoop. Think my OC would win in a fight against Batman? Like, what's with the... That's a very bizarre combination. Here, we'll do a little low health fun. Deal 300 damage to the heavy, but he's overhealed and lives. How am I doing today? I'm doing alright. No, this is not a new streaming room. My current bedroom is undergoing renovations, so I'm using a different room until that room is done. We're putting some tile down in there, the painting's been redone, but the tiling takes a while because the person who's doing it can only do it on the weekends, so during the week I just can't be in the room because there's just no floor. It's wonderful. So, soon I will have my, the official Goon Cave will be back up and running. Papa Gooner's Goon Cave is going to be up and running and fully operational very soon. Just gonna take some time. Haven't got a plan to move out of your parents' house? Here's the thing, man. Currently I'm working on saving money. Because you graduate with a degree and a shitload of debt, you get your job. I'm not gonna sink myself into more hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to buy a house. And I'm not gonna sink my money into renting an apartment anymore. Because when you're renting an apartment, you're just burning that money away. So, my parents have graciously agreed to allow me to live at home for a little while, so I can save up money with my job. And then once I have enough money saved, I'll be good to go. And I can go buy a house. It's fucking impossible to buy a home right out of college anymore if you're in America. It's fucking awful. It sucks. So, gotta save up money, then I can buy a house. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, it's pretty bad right now. Like, I think in my city, the minimum house price right now for something that isn't a shitty cracker shoebox, like a cracker box shoebox, is $300,000 for a home. Not even a new home. Just a home, which is ridiculous. You're like, who can afford that? What they want you to do is they want you to take out loans, they want you to take out a mortgage, so you're constantly on their nipple having to give them money. They want you to be in debt forever, and I would rather not be in more debt than I already am. I'm gonna save up enough money so I can just buy my house outright. And here's the thing, man. You say $300,000 isn't that expensive? That gives you a 1-bed, 1-bath, and 1 living room home. That's all it gives you. Which is... No, oh my god, I cannot rocket jump with this fucking mouse. You know what? I'm gonna swap back to my old mouse after today, because I just cannot play TF2 with this thing. It's impossible to rocket jump with this mouse. Like, for example, my parents bought this house in the 1980s for $60,000. They can now sell this house, and it's a shitty house, for over $300,000. That's how fucking crazy prices have gotten. It's really bad. Or you can dump thousands of dollars a month into an apartment. No, not doing that. Thing is, I have considered leaving America for greener pastures, but it's just, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Cost of living in other countries is markedly cheaper, but then you have the problem of, if I'm working in that country, the income I'm earning is going to scale with their currency. So it's not gonna translate to be good for me in the long run. So it may not be the best idea. If I were to move to another country, it would be strictly because I prefer the way things, you know, operate over there culturally or, you know, interpersonally and what have you. So, I wouldn't be moving to another country for financial reasons. It's also insanely expensive to move to a new country if you're living in America. And also, depending on the country you're moving to, they're not friendly to Americans. A lot of people do not like Americans, and if I wanted to move there, a lot of people would refuse me entry in terms of renting an apartment or buying a home. And if I also don't have a job in that country of residence, if I say, oh, look, like, for example, if YouTube was my job, if I was doing YouTube, I would not be able to buy a home in many places because I have to have a job in that country of residence. It sucks. Where would I move to? Probably somewhere in Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe, Japan. Maybe I like New Zealand. New Zealand was nice. Maybe New Zealand, but just not America or Britain. I would not move to Australia. I am on the red team now. I am on the red team. I need to reload my rockets. Come here, heavy. Rural China? I think moving to China would be a death sentence. I think it's a terrible idea.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Southeast Asia? No, I don't think I want to die to an earthquake. Rural China is peak. I don't want to die. No, thank you.
Mission ends in 10.
Scotland? I don't think I want to move to a totalitarian society where you can get arrested for wrongthink. I don't think I want to move to a place like that. I mean, the Caribbean is beautiful. I would not want to live there. That's for sure. Canada? Nope. No thanks. I'd rather not live in what is, you know, another effectively totalitarian society. No thanks. I prefer having the freedom of speech and being able to say what the fuck I want and not having to worry about being arrested for saying something that is nonsense. I'll pass, thanks. I enjoy having the freedoms that I do in this country, and it would take a lot for me to relinquish them. I'd rather not at all. Miraculously, I've not died. Ooh, pipeline. I want to play on pipeline. Move to Sweden? I don't know if I want to move to Sweden. Sweden has a lot of its own problems right now. And I think they need one less immigrant. I could go to Mars. I could go to Mars. See, I did like Hungary quite a bit. I did like Hungary. But there's also the added problem of I won't know anybody if I move to a foreign country. Having to, like, make friends in a place that doesn't speak English would be extremely challenging. And it would be very isolated, and lonely. So, I don't know. Again, it would take a lot for me to move out of America.
The control point is being captured.
I don't love hot places. I can tolerate hot places. Like, it would be great if it wasn't 40 degrees centigrade outside right now, which is roughly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think I would appreciate. I would appreciate not living in such a miserably hot place. Where'd that spy go? I sense him. Where are you, sir? If I visited Costa Rica, no. I'd love to visit Costa Rica because there's work reasons why I could go there because there's very interesting earthquake studies that happen in Costa Rica. It's also very beautiful. I'd love to see it. What is my dream country to live? I mean, right now it's America. America has a lot of benefits and positives that many other countries that I visited and also see just can't meet. Or don't meet at all. So, for now, America's the place for me. Move to Kivotos. Yes. And be the only man. Yeah, truly the best place. Awesome society. Move to the Mushroom Kingdom. Thoughts on Japan? Japan is beautiful. It's a beautiful country. They have their shit together for the most part. Like, if I had to pick a place to move, Japan would probably be in my top 5. But you have to learn the language. You have to learn Japanese. Otherwise, you're not getting around. It's rough. Outside of major urban centers, you're gonna have a hard time. And also, the Japanese are not very friendly to Americans, especially if they're moving there. They don't mind tourists, right? Because tourists are they're gonna go away. But they're a very nationalistic place. They're very proud of their own people. They'd rather not. I hit the medic and killed the soldier. I'll take that. Or the heavy, rather. But, so moving there would be very unkind. So I don't know if I would do that. Yeah, I haven't visited many places. I have visited America, I visited Mexico, Australia for 5 minutes, New Zealand, Japan, where else? Where else have I been? That's about it, really. Those are the only countries I've been to. Hungary, duh, Hungary. 2 seconds in Great Britain, because I had a connecting flight. But beyond those places, nowhere else. I'm not that worldly of a person. Ideally, I'd like to travel more. I'd like to get out and see more of the world, but travel is expensive. And there's also a lot of places I'd like to visit within my own country of residence before I branch out and go to more places. I don't think I would ever visit Pakistan. Please stop spamming that in my chat, otherwise I will mute you.
We have captured the control point.
I've been to like 5 countries in my life, and 2 of them are Syria and Ukraine, not even joking, cool. I mean, I'd visit Syria and Ukraine. I would visit all places. But, like, live in those places? Probably not. so much shit. Check my Patreon Discord. I have to check this out. What are people freaking out about? What are people freaking out about? What is it? What am I looking for? What am I seeing? Oh, apparently the AI chat summary, the AI chat summary of my stream, viewers are reacting to Zesty's recent stream about how he wants to move out of Canada. This suggests many countries for him to move to based on different factors like politics, cost of living, and healthcare. I don't think that's the conversation we were having. I don't live in Canada. What the fuck? Totally not a broken feature. Escape from Canada. Someone should make a video game called that. Escape from Canada. Escape from Canada. But I talk about the politics, I mean, aside from it being a place where I don't want to get thrown into prison for wrongthink, that's like the limit of how I talk about politics. I enjoy my freedom of speech and freedom of thought. I would prefer not to live in 1984. Become a monk and live in Mongolia. I'd like to visit Mongolia. The AI updates every time you refresh the stream. You can probably get a lot of funny results. Hold on, why is the chat freaking out? We move you up here. There we go. Also, why is it... The fuck? Why is this black? Huh? What is happening here? My fucking... Hello? What the fuck? Why is there just a black... What is this black... What is happening? Okay, my OBS is freaking out. Hold on, let me just kill off some things here. Kill off that. Why is this black? It's because the scaling on this is fucked. Bring you down. There we go. Fix that. Is my TF2 chat the same as well? Scale that back a little bit. Bring you down. There we go. Scaling on the chat window got fucked, and I demand perfection. I'm gonna play heavy. I feel like playing heavy. Dog, what are you doing? Chill. How do you think a TF2 map with overtime music would go? What do you mean overtime music? Like music starts playing when you enter overtime? Thing is, when it comes to TF2, you really can't have background music as you play because the game heavily relies on audio cues as you move around. And as you play the game and as you shoot your guns, listening for spies, listening for callouts and voice commands. So generally, not a good idea to have music playing in TF2 by default. So, yeah, and music in the background of your gameplay just doesn't really fit. What are your thoughts on TF2 maps set in other countries? I think they're fine, so long as they retain the tones and themes and stylization of the game. For example, something that gets fairly close would be something like Borneo, but one that drops the ball miserably bad is Embargo. Borneo looks like a TF2 map. Embargo does not. Do I have a high enough DPS skill as heavy? Yes, I do. You will not randomly crit me, sir. I simply refuse to let you do this to me. Let's push the cart. Sweden versus Embargo, which looks less like TF2. They're both prime candidates for looking the least like a TF2 map. Sweden is pretty bad But honestly, I think Embargo's the winner. Embargo is just really, really visually unlike TF2. It falls short on pretty much every design principle that TF2 maps need to abide by. And it just looks like, and just generally, it looks like something from a different video game entirely. Like, I can appreciate the effort that went into making it, but it's just not appropriate for TF2 at all. And it plays terribly. And it plays terribly. That was a bit of a roll. Is it the old minigun muzzle flash? I believe it is. I'm not sure. How much do I have in investments? None. I don't have enough money to throw around for investments. Not yet, anyway. One day. Would you say the Neo Tokyo maps? What do you mean by Neo Tokyo maps? I'm not sure it's what you mean by that.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Like Kong King. Kong King works surprisingly well, even though it's set inside of a city. And the primary reason for that is its lighting. So, my buddy Zythe, who makes maps, actually showed me a very good example of using Koth King and why lighting is so important for TF2 maps. So, if you were to put Koth King into daylight, all of the insane level of visual details would look really, really bad. But because the lighting on the map is very dark, it de-emphasizes all the smaller details and makes you focus on the lower areas of the map, like around the ground and the lower parts of the buildings where there's less visual detail. And because the shading goes from down to up, it doesn't look nearly as busy, and it still retains the feel of a TF2 map while being a very detailed city landscape. So, it achieves that quite well. I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna do this. Listen. No. I'm gonna focus on your gun. Is there a spy? No, there's not. Opinions on Payload Race. I wish people played these game modes more, because Payload Race is very fun. That's a lot of errors. What the listen, man. I'm just gonna ban you now because you are asking very annoying nonsense questions. I don't know what you want from me other than to annoy me, so I will remove you from my chat. Goodbye. Yeah, probably a bot. Lots of bots on TF2 these days, that's for sure. I know, just some weird schizo asking me what month is the best time to play TF2. They're just spamming it over and over again. Have you ever heard of the toon explosions and muzzle flashes? I'd rather not bastardize my game by bringing in, like, Disney cartoony shit. If I'm thinking of what you're referring to. I don't like that stuff in my game at all. It looks bad. It's like, hi, yeah, I'm gonna have TF2, but I'm gonna replace all of the mercenaries with My Little Pony ponies. People do that. I think he was asking about what update is your favorite. I don't think he was saying that. He was just asking what month is the best time to play TF2. He wasn't asking like what the best updates are. Either way, spamming chat, very annoying. Oh, hi, Heavy. Oh, okay. I'm backing up, just tossing that down for someone. Toon muzzle flashes are nice, but are a bit too much. Yes, they are too much. I don't like them. He's fucking dead. Why do you think live TF2 should have scramble? What? What do you mean by live TF2? I have no idea what you mean by live TF2. Why does live TF2 need Team Scramble? Which quarter of the moon is perfect for playing 2-4? Now we're getting into, like, witch and Wiccan stuff. Based off of the phase of the moon and the essence of our burning sage, we have determined that right now is a bad time to play TF2. You have bad vibes coming from the moon and the stars. Isn't it pretty crazy that there's people out there that are like Wiccan and witches and identify as Wiccans and witches? I see their dating profiles on dating apps. It's crazy. They're like, there's chicks out there that believe that if you like grind, you know, if you grind a piece of quartz down into powder, mix it with cow's milk, sneeze on it, and do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around, that's what it's all about, then the moon is gonna magically turn into like a phase or a certain shade of hue and blue that's gonna like make their knees grow and make them 2 inches taller. I don't fucking know. I find it bizarre. But here I am, a Christian. I believe in a magical sky prince with long flowing hair that formulated a man out of clay. So am I any better? Probably not. Millennial women, good luck. Yeah, no, it's mostly Zoomers, honestly, like, cause like I'm millennial, right? It's not people in my age bracket. It's mostly younger people, I find. Are you a spy? No, you're not. Zesty religion reveal. Yes, I think it's pretty commonly known that I'm a Catholic. Like it's no mystery. Actually, I kind of want to play Classic Sniper. Have you seen the girl that identifies as a dog and acts like a dog? It's a streamer. You know it's an act, right? That's not real. Like, that is something to be shamed for. If you act like a dog, walk around like a dog, someone walks you on a leash. Like, we used to bully people for that. Like, that was not something that we should be praising and condoning. Like, that is... something's wrong. And also, it's not real. Like, no one... Like, I need to refresh myself on what this chick looks like. Post-irony fetish. Shame in 2024? Gooner bait used to be believable. Oh, Christ. Oop. People forget there's a flank on this stage. Yeah, but it just takes you so far out of the way. Here, I have an idea. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Let them push. I have a plan. Wait for it. I'm waiting. Someone walk in front of me so the joke can be funny. I'm aiming in exactly the right place where most people will have their head. Fine. Fuck. He had overheal. Or the other weapon. Oh, fuck. He got a crit. I'm dead. Anyways, that's something we used to, like, shame. But now, because we live in the year of our Lord 2024 and people can go inside of their own little safe spheres on the internet, now we have, like, the doorknob suckers society. Like, back in the day, if you used to, like, suck doorknobs, you would be insulted, it would get bullied out of you, then you'd go on to be a contributing member of society. But now, because we have forums and what have you, people can find other doorknob suckers and bring themselves up as like, we are the doorknob suckers of the world. We demand to be respected for sucking doorknobs. Ah, it's weird. I don't think it's healthy if you're acting like an animal and dressing like a dog and being walked on a leash. Like, there's furry and then there's mentally ill. Something happened to that poor girl. Help her. Well, like, dress like a dog. Like, they put on, like, a leash and have ears and a tail and shit like that. That's what I mean by dress like a dog. They dress themselves up like a dog costume. I don't fucking know. She's 26! feel bad. Oh. Oh, man, that wasn't a hit. Come on. Oh, hello. I'm 26 and set for life. Hey, man. That's why I don't think it's real. It's a grift. I think it's a grind. I don't think that's real for... I don't think it's real at all. Like, it makes for really great shock content. Like, wow, this chick... Hold on, I gotta Google this person. Dog woman streamer. Yeah, here's the thing. She looks like... She's not ugly either. Like, she's not ugly either. She's mildly attractive. Like a 6 out of 10. No one that looks that good is intentionally doing... Is genuinely doing this. Something is wrong. I could fix her. I could fix her. Like, she obviously bathes, washes her hair, shaves, puts on makeup, makes herself look nice for the stream. Like, hello. No, I'm not saying I can fix her. Someone else in my chat said they can fix her. It's not for me, man. We lose? Shit. She's committed to the bit. She is. I respect it. I just don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. Hashtag free women. Dog, you need to chill. Chill. Relax. It's okay. Daddy will be home soon. I know you miss him. You have social anxiety whenever my father is not in the home. Relax. Come here. Come here, dog. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Speaking of dogs, this fucking dog. Pinto, come here. Come here. It's okay, dog. It's alright. It's okay. Poor dog. He gets very anxious when my dad isn't around. It's back. Oh, we're just grinding along. How am I doing today? I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Truth be told, I am stressing a little bit because I've been really focusing on... Oh. Goodbye, Spy. I've been really focusing on my next video, and the script is getting a little crazy. A little bit long. So I'm kind of second-guessing myself as to whether or not it's like the direction I need to be taking this video. But I am working on it actively. So that's kind of just been on my mind. Just working on the next video. Where do I buy most of my clothes? Probably the Gap. I don't really have much of a taste in clothes. Either the Gap, or I go to like a department store like Dillard's, and I find clothes that I like there. That's normally what I do. I don't do anything special, like I don't go exclusively to like Versace and spend $500 on a t-shirt. You feel me? We adopt dogs, mostly. We've always had dachshunds since I was a kid, and we always buy the dachshunds from a breeder, but we're not doing that anymore because it's better to adopt your dogs. Please adopt your pets. But every other dog we have has just found their way to our doorstep, and we keep them. Like, for example, Pinto, that you just saw. A couple years ago, he just showed up, running around our backyard, freaking out. We think someone dumped him. Like, we think he's a COVID dog because a lot of people got puppies during COVID, and then once the dog grew up and turned into too much of a handful, you know, because as puppies get older, they get bigger, but they're still super energetic and they can be destructive, and you have to house train them. And then when the honeymoon phase of buying the puppy is gone, the joy of having the cute little puppy around your house turns into, oh fuck, I have a full-size dog I have to take care of. A lot of people were dumping their pets. And we think Pinto got dumped in our neighborhood somewhere because typically a lot of poor neighborhoods come to our neighborhood and they dump their pets here because they know people will pick them up. And so Pinto got dumped. He ended up in our backyard. And now he's our pet. You are so low. Never underestimate the SMG, people. It has its uses. What? I love the classic. I never get headshots with this thing. Just body shot. That's all you need to do. It's so fun. If I could live in any TF2 map, what would it be? I don't know. What would be the coziest place to live? I mean, I like the look of Yukon. So probably Yukon. Yukon seems cozy. Wintertime in the American Northwest. Yeah, probably Yukon. Yukon seems cool. Or, where else? What else is a cool map I would live in? Ooh! Banana Bay. Too warm. Too warm. I don't think I'd live in Banana Bay. Too humid. I don't want to live in a tropical environment. I think that's not going to be good. Oh, lordy. Fucking goddamn it. Well, guess I'm playing Pyro now. The spy main's here. Fun over. How do I find my server to play on? ZestyJesus.com. That is my website where I have my one server. I only have one server. Thing is, I don't like using the Razorback because I think it's stupid. I love just disabling another class. I don't like playing cheap. Actually, I want to use the back burner. Where's my back burner loadout? There we go. See, listen, it's not Half-Life 3. Whatever Tyler McVicker blew this up to be, it's not Half-Life 3. It's some new game that Valve is making, wholly unrelated to Half-Life. We have no idea what it is. It's not Half-Life 3. People need to stop freaking out about this. Tyler once again blowing something out of proportion like he normally does. That's all this is. Oh, I reflected Girardi. I'll take that, sure. Why not? And we win. Where's the Fempyro? The Fempyro mod has started crashing my game. I don't know why. Mountain Lab's a good choice. Very similar setting to Yukon.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.
Once I figure out why my Fempyro mods are crashing my game, then I will be using them again. No idea what's happening to it, or why it's breaking. Woodpig Sawmill, love the rain. Sawmill is a certain level of cozy. Sawmill is a certain level of comfy, that's for sure. Would I live there? Probably not. It's a little too dank for my preference. I need somewhere drier. Like Frontier, maybe. Frontier is another option. Frontier is that same kind of American Northwest setting. But not too far towards the coast where it just rains all the time. Like Seattle. Seattle's fucking miserable. Would not live there. Rain's too much, not for me. What's my opinion on Australian weapons? I don't like them that much, honestly. I agree that they're a little bit out of place. It was Valve experimenting with weapon skins to see what they could get away with. And once they realized, hey, all we need to do is just change the textures on the weapon, that's what we're going to go with, and then they put that in CSGO. Because they were experiencing with monetization features in TF2 for a very long time. Oh god. And so first they tried weapon meshes in the form of things like the 3-rune blade or the maul or what have you. Then they realized that causes issues with gameplay readability, so they scrapped that for Counter-Strike. Then they started doing texture swaps in the form of Australiums and Festives and what have you, and Valve's like, oh, hey, this will work. And so they put that inside of Counter-Strike, and now we have the multi-billion-dollar casino that persists to this day. Because what works in one game always works in the others. Yeah, listen, I agree. Remeshes are cool, but there's a deliberate reason why Valve stopped adding them, and it's because it hurts gameplay. Because could you imagine if there were 50 different reskins of the stock flamethrower in a game where you have different flamethrowers with different stats, and each flamethrower had 50 different reskin variants? Oh my god, it would be a fucking nightmare. And the only perspective we have is like, oh, we have a few of these reskins, it's not that hard to learn how many there are. Yeah, now amplify that by the volume of skins we already have in TF2. Oh god, it would be a nightmare. Should live in Twofold, either it's Pacific Northwest or Canada. Yeah, Twofold, no, Twoford's Twoford's very arid. I think it's more, Midwest than Pacific Northwest. Too deserty. Definitely feels more like, South Dakota or North Dakota. Just got home after doing plumbing service work. Last job was unstopping a toilet that had an entire stick of deodorant in it. What is your best guess as to how it got there? Generally, I think the simpler answers are usually the correct ones. My guess is someone was getting ready early in the morning, and they just fucked up and dropped a deodorant stick in the toilet, and that was how they started their day. That's my guess. Or, if we want to go even crazier, then illicit substances were involved. The guy was high, or the guy was drunk. That's my guess. Which one is it? Do we have the answer? We don't know. Unless you tell me. Do you know the answer? Do you know why he did it? Do you know why it happened? I'm waiting for a more specific answer from this guy. I want to know if he knows. I want to know if you know why the deodorant stick ended up inside of the toilet. Someone was huffing the okay, listen, I don't think anyone huffs deodorant. Who? I mean, I guess you can if it's like an aerosol, and you can get high off that, but it would make you sick first, it would kill you. But like, if you just buy like a stick of Old Spice and just smell it... To be fair, I would take Old Spice as a candle. Like, if Old Spice had a candle with their classic scent, I would burn that in my home, because I just think it smells good. So I would do that. I don't know what Marvel Rivals is. I also don't care because I just am not that invested in anything or anything Marvel. I enjoy some of the movies. I'm not big on Marvel games. So, no idea what a Marvel Rivals is. You tell me. What is a Marvel Rivals? Overwatch, but a bit better. Already not my kind of game. I really don't want another hero shooter where you have a million different options. I'll pass. Cape shit Overwatch. Yeah, that's a great summary. Cape shit Overwatch. I do like the term cape shit. I like how that's been popularized to describe shit like Marvel. I think that's great. Cape shit. Superhero slop. What is this guy doing? Is he dead? Did he get him? What do you think about Doctor Doom playing, or Doctor Doom being played by Robert Downey Jr.? Disney is desperate. They are losing viewership because they keep cranking out shitty movies and shows, and so they're having to bank off the popularity of Robert Downey Jr. to try to bring people back. That is the only reason why he's playing Doctor Doom. And they offered him a shitload of money to do it. You know they did. It's a real sign of desperation by Disney. Absolutely. 100% completely agree. Dangeroo. Guy in my chat. Yeah, it's gonna be garbage. Whatever. They just keep making bad movies. They're not good. Like, I've had no reason to go see any new Disney movie in a very long time. Disney Plus is the service I pay for. Stop. You're not getting anything for your money. Stop giving your money to Disney. They are a company that hates you and will keep bastardizing your favorite IPs until there's nothing left of the horse except a pile of pulp. Stop. How can I say versus Saxon Hale is dead when I queue faster into skirmish than 2 Fort Invasion? I don't know. I don't have an answer. Maybe because there's only one server running VSH and it just throws you into the active game, and so and because there's so few people looking for it, there's only one server you get thrown into, and that's it. Whereas for 2 Fort Invasion, I think people are just gonna stick with the regular version of 2 Fort. Why is my damage numbers were not popping up? That was strange. Thoughts on changing extinguisher damage reduction to slower firing and holster speed? Doesn't it already have that? It already has a slower holster. It doesn't need a slower swing speed. Any melee that you put a slower swing speed on sucks. It's not fun to use. Unless the first swing is where it all matters, which would be something like the Market Gardener. But with Pyro, no, I don't think we need to nerf it. Do you like any of the new content in the summer update? I like Canaveral. I think Canaveral is a really awesome map. I don't mind Applejack. I think that map plays relatively well. I enjoy Hadel. Hadel's a little annoying because you can cap the last point right away. I like those 3 maps a lot. I think all of the unusual effects fucking suck except Cube and Smoke. I think all of the cosmetics suck except well, really just the Gordon Freeman set, and that's really it. Beyond that, not much else about the update I like. I helped. I'm helping. I'm going to die. Kashweta plays okay. It's not the greatest. Did you hear about the big earthquake and tsunami that might hit Japan? Okay, so now we're getting into earthquake forecasting, which no one has figured out yet. So when anyone tells you the big one is coming, they have no idea when or where. They have no clue. So whatever hype story you're hearing about Yellowstone blowing up, or Japan about to get its next big Tohoku 9.1 earthquake, whatever you're reading, they have no clue. Unless they're genuinely seeing a new series of foreshocks happening right now that would otherwise indicate an uptick in seismic activity in the short term, then I would not believe anything you're seeing. I got 1 guy. I got 2 guys. How come news lies? Because it gets you to watch it. Why would you watch boring real news when you can sensationalize things that are somewhat derivative of the truth? When the news became entertainment, that is when the sanctity of news went out the window. Have I seen the mod of TF2 in VR Contra? I have no idea what that is. I don't like VR games. I'm never going to invest in a VR headset, so I have I have no clue what's going on when it comes to TF2 and VR.
You failed.
My most played class is probably Soldier. It is Soldier. That's my most played class. My least played is Engineer. Or Spy. No, it's Scout now, I think. It rotates between Scout, Engineer, and Spy is my least played. And to prove to you how bad I am at Scout, I'll play Scout right now. No, I did not see Deadpool and Wolverine. My sister saw it. She enjoyed it, but... no one knows how to turn around, apparently? Valve is working on a title under the codename White Sands. Apparently it's a new Half-Life title. We don't know if it's Half-Life. For the millionth time, we have no idea if it's Half-Life. Probably isn't going to be Half-Life. We just win, I guess. We win. We push the cart to the end and we do the thing. We did it. See, I love the feel of old maps like this, even though they're open and they're aids to play on. Man. What are my thoughts on women? Women are pretty cool. Women are nice. I enjoy women. As a heterosexual man, I like women. Women, hashtag free women. Oh, fuck. Wheezy is never gonna live that one down. Hashtag free women. Love it. Women are free. It's free real estate.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
You know, what a way to enter the stream. You arrive on the official Zesty Jesus stream, you are guaranteed one free woman token. Whatever that means? No idea, but you get a token. It's like a little card. You get to show it off to your friends. It's a collectible. Can you redeem it for a woman? Probably not. Probably not.
5, 4, 3.
What did Wheezy do? Wheezy farted in a women's bathroom. And therefore, he is now selling women for free on the black market because he knocked them out and dragged them out, and he's now selling them. That's what happened. Therefore, hashtag free women. It's not real. It's not real. Just a joke. Need to reinforce that. Just make it a funny. Ah. Ooh. I'm gonna go this way. That was close. Yeah, Pinto is freaking out. He's waiting for my parents to come home, and he freaks out if they're not home. Whoa, that hurt. It's actually related because the main character is wearing an HEV suit, and the leaks and names are also abbreviated as HLX. Thing is, typically when, you know, when games are being developed, they often use existing assets to test whatever game it is they're building. So they'll probably swap out the assets for some Dota slop. I can already see this happening. We're gonna get some nice Dota slop going on. We're gonna get some fantasy slop. We're gonna get some like what is that character from Deadlock, where it's like the weird golem woman thing that like turns into a statue and ground pounds people like the stone ability in Kirby? That's the main character. It's gonna be some shitty fantasy slop character, guaranteed. It's gonna be a woman. And you know she's gonna be probably like somewhat obese, pink hair, maybe, I don't know. But she has something that looks like the HEV suit, because, look, we're gonna appeal to our old fans, but push a shitty... I just don't have any confidence in any modern games being made. I'm sorry, I really don't. What about Elden Ring? I love Elden Ring. I've not played the DLC yet, so please no spoilers. But, love Elden Ring. Can't wait to play the DLC. Waiting for the multiplayer mod to get updated so a buddy of mine can play. I really want to try a dual halberd build and see if I can beat the game that way. Because when I tried dual halberds, when I did my first playthrough, fuck, that's fun. And then I swapped over to dual axes, the black ones. I used those pretty much all the way through. And then to beat the game, I cheesed it and I used like the moon sword. I forget what that one's called, or no, I used the one that makes you bleed, the one that like makes you bleed really easily, and like you get health when you kill enemies. I used that one. And I used 2 of those.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
Bleed for 8 seconds. Buffed. I love how that's become a meme inside the TF2 sphere. The fucking bleed for 8 seconds buffed shit is really, really funny. I don't think that guy knew what he was creating when he put out that video, and now it's just... We're getting some great jokes coming out of that shit. I love it. Oh, man. That's really funny. Least favorite weapon in terms of aesthetic? Pretty much any of the Deus Ex weapons. They really stick out like a sore thumb and don't look like they belong in TF2 at all. I've not played Ghosts of I can't say Ghosts of Tsushima. I've not played that yet. I will eventually. It's on the list. I want to play on Powerhouse. But I played Red Dead Redemption. No, it's just not a game that calls to me, like, at all. So I probably won't play it. No, yeah, I saw that Wheezy made a vote on Twitter about keeping matchmaking or bringing back quick play. Did he make another one? I'm curious as to what what's changed. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, Twitter is so slow. Don't know why. Let me pull up Wheezy's Twitter to see what the vote's doing. Ah, yeah. So it finished. Yeah. So the vote won. 34.6% of people think that TF2 should ditch the modern matchmaking system and go back to the old quick play system. There is a little bit of hope left. There is at least some common sense left in the TF2 community. And hopefully when my video is done, it will convince everyone that the modern matchmaking system is fucking awful and should have never been put in the game. And the reasons why it was put in the game? It's all about this, baby. It's all about this. Very excited to finally make this video. Like, I've been working on this video on and off for a few years now. I've rewritten the script so many times, and now that I finally have a good path forward with how I want to make it, I'm very excited. Fucking dispenser. I do not care about Ukraine and Russia. Stop asking. You want me to talk about sensitive topics, I'm not going to. So quit it. Enough. I know people haunt my streams so they can clip me and get me in trouble. I do not care. Stop asking. If you want any other milquetoast political opinion, there's a million other people that are more willing to do that for you. Don't know why you care about the opinion of a TF2 guy. What he has to say about the fucking Russian-Ukraine war. Would I date a woman from another race? Yes, I would. I feel safe answering that question because I think black chicks are hot. I think Mexican chicks are hot. In fact, I think I have a stronger preference towards Mexican chicks than I do white chicks or black chicks. Not really, I don't find Asians attractive. It's very rare for me to see an Asian woman and go, man, she's hot. It's mostly Hispanic women. But also, I grew up in South Texas, so I might have a slight bias. I probably have a very strong bias with, wow, can't aim at all. Can't aim at all. What do you mean, slight racist? Is it racist to not be attracted to a different race? Like, why is that racist? You're either sexually attracted to someone or you're not. I fail to see how that's racism. You find certain physical attributes of someone appealing, or you don't. That's it. Oh god, the fucking ending of My Hero Academia. What a fucking dumpster fire. Oh, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad My Hero Academia fucking ended. Talk about garbage. Just utter fucking terrible ending. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I'm glad it's over. Utter garbage. Fucking trash. Thank God. Main character learns nothing. Goes right back to being a useless piece of shit. The only way he can contribute to society are his friends giving him handouts. Beyond that, he has nothing else. It is hilariously bad. Hilariously bad ending. Where is... load? Game? Hello? Damn, that was loading bad. Is it as bad as the Attack on Titan ending? No, I think it's worse. I think it's way worse. It's just really, really fucking bad. The ending of My Hero Academia is just... Where do I even begin? So first of all, you have like a 2.5-year lead up of a complete dumpster fire of a final fight. Where people get their shit pushed in, but then get brought back to life, to have their shit pushed in, to get then brought back to life. No consequences for fucking anything. My favorite character gets turned into a fucking nugget for literally no reason. You have this insane power level scaling, where you have these ridiculous, retarded end game abilities and powers. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna beat the bad guy, but no, we're gonna introduce these really cool abilities and powers and characters, only to have them killed off by the main villain, just to make him look more evil. It just makes no fucking sense. And then the ultimate final fight just turns into this stupid emotional melodrama of like, we have to get at his heart. We have to save the villain. No, can you just have a villain be bad and let him fucking die? No, we can't have that anymore. Because we have to find some way to redeem all villains, because if people are sexually attracted to them, they have to be allowed to ship them in their OC pairings on DeviantArt. And if they think the villain is always bad and he has to die, then we can't sell more merchandise and video games. Fuck, it's so bad. No, and then fucking Deku, the main character, at the end of it all, has his powers stripped away, goes back to being a useless member of society, doing fucking nothing. Nothing to improve himself, not utilizing his abilities to contribute in any way towards heroes, nothing at all. Moping around for years, gets cucked out of the girl that likes him. She's fucking gone, living her career, probably having sex with what's-his-face. Fuck. Then all of his friends fucking abandon him. They're too busy. Oh, sorry, we don't have the time to hang out with you anymore. Have fun being a quirkless teacher. And then at the end of it all, they hand him an Iron Man suit that they paid for. And now he's finally a hero again? For free? What? That's no effort or like soul or spirit put into any of it? Fucking horrible! One of the worst endings to a manga that I have ever seen in my fucking life! Amazing premise! Great idea for a manga, and it was fucking destroyed! Probably by terrible editors. The fact it remained this popular for so long amazes me. And it's only Fujo's holding this manga up. Just fucking 40-year-old women wanting to have sex with the boys. It's the only reason why it's good. or why it's considered good. It's shit! It's bad! Horrible! Go read Vigilantes instead! My Hero Academia Vigilantes is an infinitely better story. Better writing, better character development, objectively better in every way, shape, and form! Fuck! I hate it! Makes me so mad! Fuck! Truly a tragedy. Am I a JoJo fan? No, I don't watch JoJo. It's really not for me. Help! I'm going to die. This is a problem. Dude, don't mention Bleach to me. Don't mention Bleach to me. I hope to God they retcon the entire ending to that tragedy. Fuck the ending of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Why? Why did it have to end that way? It was fucking horrible. It was truly terrible. And like, lol, no, fuck it. Everyone dies, I guess. Just hate it. You sure are mad. This is, listen, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Do you know where you are? Chad, I don't think this guy knows where he is. When you come into my streams, you have to understand something. This is not a happy-go-lucky time. I don't smoke weed. I'm not on antidepressants. I'm not medicated. This is raw energy. We are allowed to be negative here. We are allowed to be angry. This is just how it goes here, man. This is how I roll. Why don't I smoke weed? Because I don't want to develop Parkinson's or schizophrenia by the time I'm 60. No, thank you. Go away. Thoughts on the Helk ending? Helk is so good! Helk is amazing! God, if you want to read a good manga, go read Helk. Helk is really good. Good character development, good story, really good, just cute characters, but also good writing, really cool premise. Just, it's just really good. Go read Helk instead. Really good story, love it. Thoughts on the Nagatoro ending? Nagatoro really did need to end. It had dragged out for too long. It dragged out for too long. It was getting a little bit repetitive in terms of, like, you know, the interactions between all the characters. So it was about time. It ended in, I think, a very good way. So could it have been a bit more monumental, impactful? Sure. But am I upset about the ending of it? No. H-E-L-C-K. H-E-L-C-K is the manga you're looking for. It is Helk, and it is really good. Ow. Attack on Titan's ending is fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. Dude, I had to drop Komi-san. Komi-san was... It started strong, it was really cute, but now, for some reason, the story has been bloated with 200 characters I don't give a fuck about. I don't care who they are. I don't care about their interactions. I wanted to see a cute development of a love story between a girl that can't really talk too good, and then, like, another cute, like, you know, Gyaru girl. That was great. I love her character, but no, sorry, now it's a hot fucking spaghetti bowl mess of a whole bunch of fucking randos. Who is this person? Who is this person? I don't know. I don't care. Terrible. What about Ranking Kings? No, I've not seen it. Not seen it or read it. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no! Go away! He can't hit his melee swings! Spy X Family, I had to drop it too. Spy X Family was another really cool premise, but it just... The manga kept dragging and dragging and dragging. Just, God, get on with it. Enough with the weird, quirky side quests. Give me more exposition. Please, more exposition. I don't like waiting 9 chapters for exposition. Fuck. I think the characters are great. It's too slow. The pacing is awful in Spy X Family. I haven't read it. I haven't read it in a long time. He has to like Berserk. I have not consumed the entirety of Berserk. I need to at some point, I just haven't. No, don't get me started on isekais. I don't watch them that much. I guess the only one I really care about is Mushoku Tensei. I have not seen the new season. Go away. I am just gonna go straight to the next point. Cowboy Bebop's great. That's just a classic. You gotta watch Cowboy Bebop. Nothing else to say. Gotta watch it. See, in this fight, I should lose. But will I? Yes. What about Nisekoi? Oh, God, no! Don't make me think about Nisekoi! No! I don't want to think about... I have to refresh my memory. Is it the one I remember, Nisekoi? Yeah, nope, nuh-uh. Bad in every way, shape, and form. Terrible. Nope, hate it. Don't. Nope, nope, shit, garbage, trash. Terrible. No. Terrible. Dragon Maid is an 8 out of 10, but the pedo shit makes it a 3 out. See, Dragon Maid is great if you can ignore Kana as a character. Dragon Maid is awesome if Kana and the interactions that she has just didn't exist. Like, outside of just, like, her being a cute character, the weird sexual shit they put that character in is really bad. I don't like it, shouldn't be in there. The rest of it's great. Jitsu wa Watashi wa is really good. Go read it. If you love rom-com gag manga, go read Jitsu wa Watashi wa. Don't watch the anime. The anime is fucking terrible. Don't watch it. The manga, however, is phenomenal. Phenomenal manga. Cute characters, great interactions, really over-the-top, fucking wild comedy shit. Jitsu wa Watashi wa is awesome. Love it. Do I like One Punch Man? I liked it until... Oh god, don't get me started on One Punch Man. So, first season is... So, when it comes to the story of One Punch Man, everything was great when it was adhering to the webcomic. As soon as the Murata redraws started deviating from the webcomic, then things really started going to shit. Like, the entire Garu fight got reworked in the Murata redraw, and holy fuck, what happened? It just completely destroyed the amazing, impactful conclusion to the Garu fight that was in the webcomic, and it just turned it onto its head into this ridiculous, retarded gag comedy nonsense. Time travel, apparently? Really? No. Just have... Oh my god, just have Saitama kick his ass and do the amazing pose of "You'll never beat me." That's how it should have been! Not the weird dumb shit they did in the redraw! Why did they do this? Fucking terrible. If you ignore everything about the redraw that isn't the webcomic, and just go read the webcomic, seriously. Just go read the fucking webcomic, ignore the art style of one, just go read it. Just go read it, it's way better than what the fucking redraw does and what the anime is gonna become. First 2 seasons of One Punch Man are fine. The first season is infinitely superior just because of the studio that was working on it. Fucking immaculate. One of the best things just in general in terms of animation and story quality. Fucking love it. Second season, mediocre, not that great. But that's also because the story was pretty weak leading up through that point. But, yeah, once One Punch Man started deviating from the webcomic, just fuck. Oh, God. Just got really bad. I stopped reading it. I had to stop reading it. Fucking shame. try that again. Come here. Come back, come back. It's safe, come here. Are you there? No, you're not. Oh, God. I'm angry about manga and anime. I'm sorry. This is not the stream that people come here for. They come here to watch me get angry about things they can clip and post on Twitter for clout. Okay, give me a controversial topic. What should I talk about? Let's give the people what they want. Come on. Give me some hot button issue that Zesty Jesus can talk about and get canceled on Twitter for. Lay it on me. Come on. Lay it on me. What do you got? Come on. Come on. Roll them in. Get them in here. Come on. What can I do to fuck myself over today? Let me talk about something. Come on. Give me something. Give me something so far out there that it's going to be impossible for me to recover. Do it. Come on. Give it to me. Come on. Random crits. There we go. Perfect. I love random crits. Keep them in the game. Fuck Uncle Dane for popularizing the notion that they need to be removed. They don't need to be. They're fine. Alright, what's next? Stock or Tomislav? Always stock. Why would I cripple my damage? I'm gonna die. That's a problem. Thank you, Pyro. Oh, that's a... fuck. Well, that's me leaving. Oh, no. Oh, no! Fuck! Thank God you had a quick fix Uber. That would have been really bad. Ugh. I don't even know why I'm using this gun anymore. I'm going back to stock. Where is my stock? There you are. I need a name for this, by the way. I need a name. I should probably just name it Nonomi again, even though I sold my strange one. Elections. Yes, there are politics and elections coming. Yes, that's the thing. Nah, I don't. One Piece is too long. I needed to have started reading or watching One Piece 15 years ago. Now it's just too late for me to get into because of just how long it is, and I just don't ever feel the need to just dedicate that much time to a single piece of media. And I feel like I probably wouldn't get that much into it either. So, just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Unfortunately, I did get really bored one summer, and I read the entirety of Naruto from start to finish in 2 weeks. Horrible. Horrible manga. Oh my god. So much went wrong. Fuck. Unfortunately, that's all I remember. I don't remember all of the nitty-gritty details with everything about Naruto, but when I was reading it, I was disappointed. And I was disappointed a lot. The ending of Naruto was really bad too. Yeah, the thing is, I started reading Bleach when it started, so I was able to keep up with it all the way to the end. Like, I remember being like in old fucking online forums in like 2007, 2006, talking about Bleach. Holy shit, that was a fun time. I'm gonna die. Don't you like binge watching and reading manga and anime? If I have to be really, really into something if I'm going to binge watch it. If I'm not super into it, then I'm probably not gonna binge watch it. Like, it takes a lot for me to come across a piece of media and then just not be able to put it down. We need to go to the D point. Do I watch any non-animated shows? These days, not really. Truth be told, I don't. I just, nothing, like, what? Okay, give me recommendations for non-animated shows to go and watch. Because I have yet to come across something that really seems like it's worth my time. Yeah, I see The Boys and Breaking Bad as suggestions very often, but... See, I saw the Snowpiercer movie. I saw that, but I didn't watch the show. See, Ed, Edd n Eddy is animated. Yeah, Breaking Bad is something I have to watch. I gotta get on that at some point. Okay, quick Quick restroom break. I'll be right back. Quick restroom break. Be right back. Gotta piss. Okay. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, and I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to switch gears. I want to switch gears because people have been sending me a video non-stop and have been begging me to watch it. It's this stupid video about the gloves of running urgently. Because apparently this video was made specifically to refute my points on it. And I think the current state of the gloves of running urgently is entirely and wholly indefensible. The way that Valve reworked this weapon is fucking... It's honestly a tragedy. It did not need to be nerfed at all. And the current state of the weapon is horrible. Health drain as a mechanic inside of TF2 is disastrous for anything that resembles fun and fair play. I think it's terrible. I've not seen this video. No idea what it can. No idea what it entails. But yeah, and I agree. Marked for Death was just objectively better and totally fine. Was arguably a buff? I completely disagree. I think it's terrible. I will never, ever defend the current state of the gloves of running urgently. I've not seen this. Very curious as to how he even comes close to defending the mechanic. But we'll see. Should give it 8-second bleed. Yeah, exactly. Alright, let's see. Let's see what he says. I don't get how it's bad. Just means you have to be more carefully on how long you have to use it. We'll get to that.
Like these are made possible by viewers like you.
Don't care. Bottom C tier. Marginally useful only on larger maps. Anywhere else, useless. You just fucking die. Don't use them.
C tier?
Yes.
And that was a reluctant.
And I stand by that. And I would have rated it lower if my chat wasn't trying to convince if my chat wasn't trying to convince me to put it higher. This is me in the old days. Very different man, less hair, more facial hair.
C tier. He wanted to put it lower.
Yes.
Look at him hovering over D tier.
Yes.
I'm not ashamed to admit that this ranking has lived rent-free in my head since I saw it. Oh god, that was almost 3 years ago. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm a little...
And I still stand by most of my opinions in those tier lists. Like, looking back on it, maybe only a handful of things I would change in all of those videos, but I still stand by pretty much almost everything I said.
Ashamed to admit that. God, what the hell am I doing with my life? Well, right now what I'm doing with my life is standing up for the gloves of running urgently. C might be a passing grade, but the GRU deserves far better. C is what I got on my high school history test when I slept through all my classes, except for that one time we watched The Patriots starring Mel Gibson. Hopefully you can see how I got a job as a YouTuber instead of anything valuable to society. Oh yeah, we also watched a movie where Tom Cruise punches a horse in the face. But the GRU didn't sleep through class. They did their homework on time, got a good night's sleep, and brought a nice shiny apple to the teacher's desk. Or maybe a banana. Or a chocolate bar. Probably that one, actually. Is the opinion of one YouTuber from 2.5 years ago, who a lot of his comments disagreed with, grounds enough for an in defense of video? My bank account seems to think so. So here's why I'm speaking in defense of the GRU.
Okay.
The GRU are
at least you're honest. At least you're honest with that.
Standing melee weapons. Notable for their ability to increase Heavy's movement speed from 77% base movement speed up to 100% base movement speed.
So here's the thing, man. Stats alone Tell me in what way is it enjoyable to immediately pull out your weapon and have your health instantly start going down? No other weapon in TF2 does this. No other weapon in TF2 automatically punishes you by pulling it out and starting to use it. You have to be shot by someone else in order for the downsides to take place. I do not understand, and also, mind you, the eviction notice does this as well. I don't get it. I don't get it. Heavy running faster is useful no matter the cost. The cost of health drain is AIDS. And back when this weapon marked you for death, and had a lingering mark for death 3 to 5 seconds after you put the item away, because it was originally 3, and then they increased it to 5. So heavies couldn't immediately put them away and not be punished for having just used the weapon. It had a lingering downside, just like this one does, but in a way that's far more predictable, and in a way that isn't fucking terrible it isn't terrible to use. Because when you're moving around and there's no one around you, you're just losing health for no reason. And then you put them away, you still have potentially less than half your health left, and then you die to one shot to something. Whereas if you were just marked for death, the other person would have to shoot you. It's objectively worse. They nerfed the item by doing this. Yeah, it was 3 seconds, and then they increased it to 5, and then they reworked it.
So the same speed as classes like Pyro, Sniper, and Engineer. This is a huge deal for Heavy. His slow movement speed is the biggest factor keeping him in check balance-wise, and this is the case with other heavy-hitting classes like Soldier and Demo, though it's...
Yeah, so we have the escape plan, which functions in the exact same way as the old Gloves of Running Urgently. So, apparently the escape plan only marking him for death while having increased movement speed with low health is totally fine?
Handle a bit differently.
Why didn't the escape plan get health drain?
With those classes. Soldier and Demo bypass their slow movement speed through the use of blast jumping, either with rockets or stickies or the loose cannon. These methods cover...
No, of course rocket jumping exists, I understand that, but I'm directly referencing the escape plan.
Some serious ground and get you to where you...
And the escape plan is so good, it's quite literally the meta aside from the Market Gardener, or the Whip. No other soldier melees are used.
Need to go quickly, but this comes at a cost. Health. The idea being that Soldier and Demo are extremely hard-hitting as well as bulky classes, so if you're gonna get them to the front lines quickly, you need to take away one of those defining factors. And even the jumper weapons follow this design philosophy by allowing them to keep their bulk while jumping in exchange for their damage output. And the gunboats on Soldier trade some of your firepower in exchange for less damaging mobility. And the man-treads are, there. Free mobility.
How much health does Heavy have when he's being marked for death? Let me see if I can do my math correctly. What is that? So it was 300 divided by 1 plus, so 300 divided by 1.35. So Heavy has 222 effective health when he's marked for death.
Mobility is an insanely powerful...
So right away, if you use the Gloves of Running Urgently for more than several seconds, it's already worse than the previous version. So it's already objectively a nerf to have health drain instead.
Tool in TF2. It's part of what makes Scout one of the strongest classes in the game. And for a very long time, the GRU was effectively free. If you've only just started playing TF2 after Jungle Inferno, first of all, I'm sorry, but second of all, you might find it a bit odd that the GRU heavies in NVM are constantly marked for death. But that's just what the GRU used to do. Anytime you held it out...
Also, yeah, you can't really compare Scout to Heavy because Scout has lower health and you can double jump.
They gave you the mark for death effect, which persisted for a couple of seconds after you put it away. This meant the dominant strategy was just...
They increased it to 5, and when it was 3 to 5 seconds, that was perfectly fine. Because Heavies were actually punished for not putting them away at the opportune time. Let me draw something for you. Let me draw you something. So the whole argument behind the whole health drain thing is like, oh, you have to put them away sooner. So let's say you have spawn, and then you have whatever point you're going to. At a certain point, you have to put the GRU away in order for your health to regen back up to a decent amount. Same thing with the old Gloves of Running Urgently. You had to put them away at a certain point so you wouldn't be marked for death by the time you get to the team fight. And in both situations, you're going to have less effective health when you get to the point. But with fucking health drain, this fucking sucks. because because you're punishing yourself by not engaging with other people. You're not punished. You're immediately being punished without having someone shoot at you. That's why this was a horrible nerf to give it health drain. It's like, I think it's 10 health per second is the health drain. Hold on, I have to refresh my memory. Hold on. Let me do. Also, if anything, the old Guru was more balanced, because if you had it out, you immediately had 222 effective health. You automatically had less health if you were encountering someone and weren't putting it away at an opportune time. With the Gru, oh god, here, I'll just fucking, let me test, hold on, let me test this shit. Give me the Gru, give me the Gru, give me the Gru. How fast does this shit drain? I have to give myself a point of reference here. And now it's worse than the old Gloves of Running Urgently. Pretty bad. And also, like, if you hold them out to this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Like, fuck. It's horrible. Whereas with the old one, the mark for death would have gone away in half that time.
Put the Gru away a couple of seconds before you get into a fight, and bing bang boom, there's effectively no downsides, and Heavy gets free mobility at no cost outside of just base melee.
Thing is, here's the problem though, man, is he put it away at the opportune time where there was nobody around shooting him. So naturally he shouldn't be punished when he's not using the item. And then he had the lingering mark for death where if there was someone there, he could have been two-shot.
Melee damage, which you weren't going to be using it for anyway, since closing the distance on an enemy with your melee as Heavy while you're marked for death is generally speaking a pretty stupid idea. Jungle Inferno changed things around, replacing the mark for death with a passive health
so
drain
horribly
at a rate
unfun
of
to play
10
with.
health per second, and removing the damage penalty. It also has a slower holster speed, but holster speeds have been bugged and easily bypassed since they're.
That's true, because you can just quick switch your weapons and the holster speed means nothing.
I think this is a really clever way to apply the same exact design ethos as something like rocket jumping onto Heavy without requiring anything mechanical on the part of the player. The gloves automatically...
The thing is, the problem with that is, like, when it comes to the insane mobility that you get from rocket jumping and from sticky jumping, having large chunks of your health removed to let you traverse half the map in a fraction of the time that a Heavy can, even with the Gloves of Running Urgently, that's far more balanced. Whereas in the same, in what, 3 to 5 times the amount of time, Heavy loses almost all of his health to traverse the same distance, and he remains slow, and it takes him a long time to fire up his minigun and start dealing damage, and unless he's got a medic in his ass, he's just going to die, and his health remains capped until it regens, leaving him to be a sitting duck entirely, no matter how long he uses this fucking thing. I fucking hate it. The health drain was a terrible, terrible idea.
Make you go fast, so they automatically drain your health. Simple as. They'll also regenerate your health at the same rate once they're put away. 10 health per second. But
so if you go all the way down to 100, it'll take 20 seconds to get back to full health. 20 fucking seconds.
Gloves in the first place will also automatically take away 30 health. So rapid swapping isn't exactly encouraged, since that'll drain you to nothing, basically.
And that's something else as well. Like, so, at least for me, a very normal part about playing TF2 is changing weapons very quickly. If you accidentally swap to your Gru, you just lose all your overheal. If you actually swap to the Gru, you just start draining your health instantly. It fucks you over in so many ways.
Instantly. And this is base health that the Gru is draining. It's not taking away from your health pool in the same way a DOT effect like Afterburn or Bleed would. Again, this is a clever workaround to an obvious solution.
No, it's not! Why... Lowering the Heavy's base health pool is a terrible idea. If anything, just have it self-damage you like it's being shown here. So your health pool is still the same, you can still be healed, but you're not fucked and have a cap at 150 when you get to a mid-fight, and you're not revved up, and also you have the biggest hit scan hitboxes, and you're not dealing damage for a full second until you start spinning up. You just die! Ah!
Be to just constantly pocket the Gru Heavy. That would not only completely override the downside, but also allow the medic to constantly build Uber at the maximum rate. not so simple
So then just remove that on the group.
anymore. In fact, overhealing heavies who are recovering health from the Gru has a little quirk where once the healing beam is
Here's what they should have done. Simply give it the same healing penalty while active, just the same as the escape plan. That is the only justifiable nerf that the Gloves of Running Urgently should have received. No fucking health drain. Heavy can't be pocketed while moving at high speed. That is the only thing they should have done. And not implemented the awful health drain system that is entirely unfun to play with. It sucks. Because even still, the Heavy takes the risk knowing I can't be overhealed, I can't be healed at all when I'm using these things, and I take extra damage for moving more quickly. And not instantly punishing myself by not having someone shooting me, just by standing still, I'm losing health. In my opinion, the only way you should lose health in this game is if someone is shooting you or if you're blast jumping. That's it. Well, it engineers self-damage from his sentry guns, but that's because that's another balance thing. But you should not take self-damage as heavy. I mean, yeah, and it doesn't matter how long the slower holster and deploy speed was there because you can simply fast switch weapons and bypass that entirely. So
off of them.
I don't even know why they were overthinking the nerf this much. Competitive players were immensely upset that potentially in sixes and also in Highlander, a Heavy gets to the midpoint too fast and is going to have too much of an impact on the overall flow of their competitive game. But guess what? Competitive formats are in no way reflective of the base game and should have no precedent on how the vanilla game is balanced. So, alongside a bunch of other weapons, Valve nerfed the Gloves of Running Urgently and the eviction notice into the fucking floor. Because, God forbid, a Heavy move too quickly in a homebrew competitive mode that bears no semblance to the vanilla game. Fucking awful. And also, Heavy isn't even played in 6v6 outside of the last point. So really, it was a nerf for Highlander, where Heavy is just the weakest class anyways next to Spy. Fuck!
It'll reset to 300 health even if it was higher than that while the beam was on them. This is one of the aspects of the weapon that I'm actually not a fan of just because it makes healing heavies feel really inconsistent, but I recognize that this is likely one of the many concessions that had to be made to prevent 1 million health heavies from running around uninhibited. Yeah, if you weren't around for the first week or so of Jungle Inferno, then just be glad you missed out on that, though looking back it seems almost quaint in comparison. So as far as I'm concerned, the nerf to the—
Fish, your music's too loud, man. You gotta turn it down. That's like a huge pet peeve of mine with editing, is your music is too loud and it's overbearing the presence of your voice, so you gotta mix your audio a bit better.
Was indeed justified. Free mobility—
No, it was not. It was not justified in any way. Not the health drain. Not the fucking health drain. Just give it the same healing penalty that the escape plan had, and then it was fine.
A class whose power is limited by his mobility is too strong of an attribute to leave unchecked. At least as powerful as it is with the Gru. But this isn't in defensive balance changes that Valve made that weren't terrible for once. It's in defensive—
But it just was objectively terrible. I almost never see the Gloves of Running Urgently played. I almost never see them used. I almost always see the Fists of Steel or stock. I honestly can't. Aside from today, because there was one guy using them, I almost never see the Gloves of Running Urgently in the game anymore.
The Gru. So are the Gru still good even after the nerf? Not only would I say they're still good, I'd say in some respects they got even better. Back in the day—
honestly, I need a drink. I'm gonna get alcohol for this. In what way is the Gru better, balance-wise, than the previous version? I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this. In what way in God's green earth is the Gloves of Running Urgently better than the old version? I have to hear this.
Hey, the Gru was a very one-note weapon. It just got you to the front lines quicker, and that was the long and short of it. That's all people ever used it for.
That's not true at all. No, it's not. It was to escape. It was to move around between areas more quickly. It wasn't just to get to the mid-fight quickly. It wasn't just to get to the front line quickly. That's just objectively wrong.
It's damn good at its job, but other situations that might benefit from Heavy having a bit of a speed boost didn't really fit the design of the weapon. You couldn't use it to close short-range gaps or retreat because the extra damage you take would just seal your fate. Holding
So
out the Gru, even for a couple of seconds in anywhere more dangerous than the run back to the front lines, could end in disaster because of the lingering mark for death effect.
And then, so how is the lingering half your base health missing any better? How is it any better?
You'd suffer from a drawback for just about as long as you benefited from the game. So it was pretty much just the running to mid tool. It's hard to say with a straight face.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just the running to mid tool. God. Oh my god, that makes me so mad, because he's just reflecting the same competitive player sentiment. Oh, it only allowed Heavy to get to mid faster. It's like this guy only thinks in payload and 5 CP. He's not thinking about attack defend, he's not thinking about King of the Hill, he's not thinking about stalemates. It's like it was used in so many more situations to allow Heavy to move around, and and there was the risk of pulling this thing out in order to get from point A to point B. It wasn't just getting Heavy to the mid fight faster. Fuck.
The new Gru isn't a bit worse in this particular aspect than the old Gru. The longer you have it out, the longer you'll need to spend
Thank you. At least you give me that much. At least you give me this.
Your health. So you either put the Gru away earlier than you would with the old version, meaning you get to the front line slower, or you keep them out the entire time and get to the front lines a lot squishier. And for maps with lengthy runbacks to the front lines where the Gru would be at their most useful, this is especially punishing.
Yes. So how is this in any way better than the previous version, where you are punishing yourself so much just so Heavy can re-engage with the fight, and in that time, no impactful actions are happening in any way, shape, or form, and if you get caught out, you just die, just like you did with the old gloves of running urgently, but if you put them away in just enough time, you're not entirely punished. But if you have to put them away, like if you hold it out for 10 seconds, you gotta put them away for 10 seconds. And if it takes you that extra 10 seconds, you're just gonna be weaker when you get to the fucking fight! God! I just think, again, the idea that you're losing health without someone shooting you is awful outside of blast jumping.
Keeping the same balance philosophy as blast jumping, this is objectively less effective at the one thing the Gru used to be used for. And so for people who stay in that old restrictive mindset of faster frontline pushing being all that the Gru is useful for...
Didn't you just say that that was the only reason why people were using the old Gru? I'm not crazy, right? I'm not crazy that he just said that the reason why people use the gloves of running urgently was only to get to the front lines faster. And only get to the mid-light faster. Implying that, like... Hold on. I'm losing my mind.
It's a complete downgrade. But now, in all of those other situations where you might want a speed boost, the Gru are infinitely more useful. Quickly crossing a sniper sightline with extra speedy, tricky movement is a lot more viable when the punishment is having to wait a few seconds to recover your health instead of taking headshot damage from a stray rocket. Retreating with the Gru has never been better. In fact, in situations...
I think that was better, honestly. Because you have to pay attention when you're taking the damn thing out.
Where your health is already low, which is when you're likely to be retreating in the first place, there's literally no downside at all. Quickly crossing a sniper sightline with extra speedy, tricky movement is a lot more viable when the punishment is having to wait a few seconds to recover your health instead of taking headshot damage from a stray rocket. Retreating with the Gru has never been better. In fact, in situations where your health is already low, which is when you're likely to be retreating in the first place, there's literally no downside at all.
Aside from killing any and all overheal, your medic's ability to heal you, like...
Foolish gloves! You seek to lower my health? What health, bitch? You can...
I'll give them that, though. If you are under 100 health, fine. That's the only point I will concede. If you're under 100 health... then it's objectively better than the old version. I will concede on that point. But you have to be under 100 health as Heavy And in that situation, you're probably going to die anyways, unless you somehow miraculously win that fight and can get out. But you still lose total health, right? Because you have it out, it's still draining your maximum health, even if you aren't seeing it happen. So when you go get a health kit, after running away, guess what? You're healed for less. If a medic starts healing you with something like the quick fix or even the stock medigun, you're not going to cap out at your max health because that thing is still draining your maximum health in the background. So sorry, I don't think it's any better. In fact, it's worse.
You can clutch out so many escapes that you just couldn't before. And it's not just tense, it's satisfying. This is a flat-out upgrade to how the GRU used to function, because retreating at low health with the old GRU would only make you even more vulnerable, while now—
Yes, and that's how it was balanced, and that's why it was fine. Punishing a heavy for taking it out when he shouldn't have been taking it out.
Now, you are only faster, and you can even use it to close the gap on enemies with the gloves themselves to engage in melee combat, and you can do it with decent efficiency since you can keep the pace with most enemies in the game, and there's no damage or swing speed penalties holding you back. These are unironically one of Heavy's best weapons for engaging in melee combat.
Just use the stock fists. Just use the stock fists and not drain your health while engaging in melee combat. Because at a certain point, your health threshold is going to go down where you die in 2 swings instead of just 1. Like, that is probably the most brain-dead take I've ever heard, saying that the gloves of running urgently are the best heavy melee to use in melee combat. Just use stock. Stock is the best for that. Plain and simple. You won't close the gap with stock fists, though. Why are you closing the gap to fight as a heavy? If someone is already that close to you, shoot them. They will die a lot faster.
Or hell, use it to close the gap with a shotgun. Why not? Or even a minigun. This can be especially effective with jumping, since if you jump with a movement enhancing item, you'll maintain that momentum until you hit the ground. Just ask any Power Jack Pyro. This can even be useful for something like dive bombing with the Hualong heater.
Rev up is too long, every second matters, but here's the thing. If you're trying to close the distance, if you're closing the distance with the GRU out, you're draining health, you're not dealing any damage against someone who is shooting at you. What you should do in that situation is maintain the distance between you and your target, so they're dealing less damage to you, and as they're coming closer to you, you're revving up, and then you can flatline them with your fucking gun. Heavy should not be closing the distance with melee to engage in melee combat, unless the other person is also committed to the melee.
Just generally closing—
And that's usually just a fucking joke or a meme.
Gap on enemies for maximum minigun shredding. This can certainly be useful for ambushes with the Tomislav too. The possibilities are— I mean, they're not limitless, they are just gloves that make you move at an average speed. But hey, on Heavy, that's a pretty big deal. The GRU have traded specialization for versatility, and I think that makes the weapon way—
Honestly, I completely disagree, because you could have used the same item in every way, and it would actually punish Heavy for using it in situations where he shouldn't be. That's why it was balanced.
Way more fun and interesting to use. Using the GRU in the old days was totally mindless. It's just the thing you do before getting to mid. Now though, it's this much more engaging resource to use where you need to gauge how much max health you have to determine—
I just disagree, because people were not only using it to get to mid. People were using it in every way he also described.
Whether or not a risky maneuver is viable, and when it's something that's shorter and more non-committal, the answer to that is almost always going to be yes. Not to mention, with how much health Heavy has, sacrificing a little bit of something he has a lot of for multiple short-term benefits that get
Yeah, let's sacrifice. So, one thing about TF2 and why so many people think that Heavy needs some kind of a change or a buff is even with his high health pool, because of his limited range of effectiveness and his slow movement speed, that high health pool means effectively nothing unless he has a medic inside of his ass. And so, yes, let's sacrifice that precious health that he has to work with because of his slow movement speed in any situation. Like, oh my god, when you pull out the old gloves of running urgently, you are no longer immediately punishing yourself. It is now entirely reliant on the person shooting at you to deal damage, instead of doing that damage to yourself guaranteed. Because there is no guarantee that someone shooting at you is going to hit you. Because they can miss, they can fuck up, what have you. It's all about timing of when you pulled it out, doing it at the right time, and entirely reliant on the skill of the other person whether or not they could or could not hit you. Instead of immediately taking it out and self-punishing yourself for damage that may or may not come. It's so fucked. It's so fucked, and I hate it.
Is a very beneficial trade compared to one long-term benefit. And even the issue of frontline rollouts being a bit neutered isn't quite as big of a deal as you'd think if you're using the chocolate bar. I've already covered this technique.
Ah, yes. Drain your health all the way down, then stand completely still, entirely vulnerable for 3 to 5 seconds to regen the health that you would have already had if you had just put the old Gru away at the right time. What a horrible justification for this awful mechanic.
In my video on the chocolate bar, but to be brief, if you eat the chocolate while you're recovering health from the Gru, it'll jack up your healing rate and get you back up to 300 health almost instantly. And
so in that moment, what he could have done with the old Gru is just put it away a little bit before he got out there, 3 to 5 seconds before, without having to stop moving, without having to slow down. Could have gotten right into the team fight, but he had to time it right, otherwise he would have taken more damage. But no, you have to stand still and eat something to get the health back that you would have otherwise had. The health pool that you would have otherwise had. That's why the proper nerf was just fucking not letting him get healed by a medic when the weapon was active. Camera's on. That's it.
For as much as I'll continue to defend the chocolate bar and say it's a viable weapon largely due in part to this, I guess, tech.
Dolichos bar would be more viable if the animation speed on the eating was faster.
Does eating chocolate after running fast count as tech? I don't know. I will say that this is still a trade-off you're making because you're sacrificing the consistent burst heals of the banana and the superior team support of the sandwich in order to speed up your rollout efficiency and put you roughly on the same level as the old Gru. It isn't completely free anymore. You still need to give.
But it wasn't free because if you took it out at inopportune moments, you were immediately punished. You were immediately punished by people shooting you and not you removing your own health. Fuck!
Up. And even though I think this combo is buggy as shit and janky as fuck, I don't see a real issue with its existence in terms of game balance because it still requires you to make a substantial sacrifice if you want to support your team most effectively. Unless you're the kind of heavy who throws out a chocolate bar every time it refreshes. So like, the kind of heavy who never has his gun revved up. Ultimately, I think the Gru stands as one of Heavy's best melee options.
No,
easily.
It's not. It's unironically the Fist of Steel. Fist of Steel is the only heavy melee you should be using if you're trying to try hard. Why would you not instantly bloat your health to 500 by simply switching to a weapon? Why would you not be using the Fist of Steel? That's just the pure best item for heavy. Is being able to immediately bloat your health to 500.
In fact, I think only the Fist of Steel has it definitively topped, since those are downright broken, and only the KGB gives it any real competition. Though, even as a big fan of the KGB, well, that sounds fucking weird out of context, I have to admit that the situations where the Gru comes in clutch far outnumber the situations where you can
in that situation, not only was he able to get the melee kill, but he also got the crits, whereas the gloves of running urgently would have left him with a lower health pool.
Managed to go on a crit spree thanks to the KGB. And no one else is around. But I'll be damned if the latter isn't way more fun when you do pull it off. I think the Holiday Punch is too much of a meme to really take all that seriously. Even if
Holiday Punch is good because you can stuff an Uber.
With
a random crit.
Ubers with a random crit or tickly
there you
backstab isn't all that powerful considering the risk and effort required in order to do so.
Not really, because typically when people get Ubered, they get tunnel vision and focus one person at a time, and they're not going to notice the heavy waddling at them with their melee out. I did this just yesterday. Twice I stuffed an Uber in the same game because the guy that was being Uber just wasn't paying attention. I just waddled over to him, randomly critted him, and then stuffed the entire Uber.
not to mention the complete negligence on the part of the enemy team. The warrior spirit is basically garbage, so that's no competition at all, and...
That's insanely powerful.
And then there's the eviction notice. This is the only time where I completely understand why people are angry at the GRU change. Not because of the GRU themselves, but because they indirectly applied the same change to the eviction notice as a result. I want to
So I'm curious as to why he thinks it's bad on this.
Say that the change to this completely different weapon is where a substantial portion of the hatred towards the GRU comes from. And
it's purely the health drain mechanic. No matter what item you put health drain on, it sucks. It sucks to use. It doesn't matter. You could have put it on a fucking pyro flare gun. You could have put it on an engineer wrench. Immediately losing health without having someone shoot at you, or you shooting yourself for that matter, fucking sucks and is not fun to use. Why would anyone willingly take damage if someone's not actively engaging them? Fucking blows as a mechanic and should not have been put in. No other weapon does this. No other weapon has health drain aside from the eviction notice and the gloves of running urgently. Could you imagine that kind of mechanic on anything else?
Understand that 100%. Trust me on this. The eviction notice used to be my go-to heavy melee weapon, and
the eviction notice was fine, but God forbid a heavy was allowed to move slightly faster after landing a melee swing. God forbid a heavy was moving faster with his melee out and not using his most powerful weapon in his arsenal because we had to nerf that for the sake of competitive players representing less than 1% of the fucking player base. Wonderful. Great. One of the most fun items put into the fucking garbage can for people that weren't even playing the vanilla game. Love it.
Bad Weapon Academy on it, it's been rotting in my inventory ever since, and it makes me miserable to say that. And the nerf was so stupid. Not even competitive players ever complained about the eviction notice. Hell, not even European competitive players complained about it.
Ah, okay, I appreciate that.
It was even on the proposed list of...
Euro compies are way different than EU compies, man. It's a completely different ballgame. I'm being taken back to my 2011, 2012 days with that comment, man. Completely different environments.
Balance changes before Jungle Inferno dropped, and I guess people just didn't tell Valve they were being fucking stupid loud enough like they did with the Ambassador. Look, they didn't even give a direct reason for it like they did with the GRU. They just put it directly under the GRU changes like it should obviously apply universally when they're two extremely different weapons. But I guess since we're on the subject, competitive is another scapegoat that people like to point towards for just...
If he justifies any semblance of competitive TF2 in this video, I will lose all respect for Fish. He better not do this. If he does this, all respect is gone. There will be none left.
General weapon nerfs or bad balance decisions, even when the weapon has never been banned or complained about by even the most European competitive player.
He has no idea how heavily people complained about the gloves of running urgently in Highlander. He did not do his research. He has no idea about how heavily people complained about the gloves of running urgently in competitive. It was literally the meta.
I'm sorry, Europe, but I'll keep giving you a hard time as long as your ban list includes the Buffalo Steak, Lock and Load, and Gas Passer. Come on, all the Americans have figured out that even throwing the damn thing through walls doesn't make it any good. I don't understand the thought process that competitive players are fucking YouTubers.
Is it really a scapegoat if it's true? No, because it is just true. Simple. No, he's talking about the GRU, not the eviction notice. He's talking about the GRU.
Kind of direct say in exactly how weapons were balanced when Valve actually gave a shit about doing that. At one point, Banny mentioned how Valve asked him for input on certain changes they had proposed.
Listen, I have the utmost respect for Banny. I love the guy. Banny is a sweetheart. Like the amount of time and love this man has put into the game, he deserves a medal. Banny is a sweetheart. But game developers should not listen to competitive players when it comes to balancing their games, especially when the competitive modes being played are not reflective of the vanilla game. Plain and simple.
such as buffing the reserve shooter since it was underused by players. Something he advised against because the reserve shooter really doesn't need any buffs just because the player equipped numbers don't reflect its effectiveness. He didn't propose.
That's kind of a misnomer, man, because the reserve shooter was really fucking strong and everyone used it on Pyro before it got nerfed into the current state. Now, and I think the current state's totally fine. At least on Soldier. But equip rates absolutely reflect weapon effectiveness. Absolutely. Yeah, the reserve shooter used to be hated because of how strong it was on Pyro. Really strong.
Any of his own balance changes. He didn't barge into the Valve office and start waving a gun around demanding that the poor souls on the TF team nerf the GRU into an unusable state.
See, that's a straw man, because these weren't the people that were complaining, it was Highlander players, mostly, and other people that were not banning.
Look at the wording they use here. While we still believe it's okay to have a class of items that increases Heavy's movement speed, players have been able to easily mitigate the existing negatives.
Which is funny, because the exact same logic can be applied to the current state of the gloves of running urgently, except it uses an objectively worse mechanic to play with. So effectively, they've done nothing to address this statement, and just made the item worse. Hello?
That's just a general
Why is the power jack not nerfed then? No idea.
balance change that has nothing at all to do with organized play. Something that they're very open about in regards to why they changed the Razorback. Which, by the way, was a change that ended up benefiting both casual and competitive play, and oh hey, look at that.
So the Razorback was objectively busted in casual because a sniper just could not die, no matter how you were playing TF2. That was one of the... that was actually probably the only change to sniper... that was probably the only change to any weapon that in TF2 that came from competitive and also casual. And also, mechanically, the Razorback sucks. It just should not exist. Being able to turn off the primary damage-dealing ability of a class is fucking stupid and should not be in the game. So, okay, so the Darwin's Danger Shield was also cancer. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the Razorback. Old DDS was also cancer. Sniper being able to tank a headshot and also having 150 damage and having bullet resistance was fucking bullshit and shouldn't be a thing. But they just changed it into an even more annoying version where the class that should be rewarded for flanking and should be dealing the most amount of damage when he's in your face. Oh, sure, let's just double Sniper's health pool against that class. Terrible rework. Terrible rework.
Even the Europeans don't ban the GRU. Kinda makes me wonder why the fucking Stake is still banned then.
One thing is, a lot of competitive modes stopped banning these items, primarily because no one is playing competitive anymore. No one's playing competitive anymore. No one fucking cares. Like, the volume of people playing competitive has only gone down over the past 10 years. So they have to keep the bar for entry lower, otherwise they're not going to get people to play. So if they ban a whole bunch of shit, why are people going to join? So why was there a competitive update? You'll see very soon in my video. Valve engaged in a very deliberate series of steps that led TF2 up to the Meet Your Match update, and no one has put 2 and 2 together. Everyone likes to blame Overwatch when it's something much more obvious and much more evident. And I am very excited to have this video done for all of you as soon as I can. I'm very excited about it.
Valve cared about, generally speaking, was how often an item was equipped by the general player base and why. If it's because that weapon has basically no downsides and over-centralizes the meta around that class in any environment, including and especially casual, then knocking it down to the level of other weapons is understandable.
By that logic, nerf the stock rocket launcher. By that logic, nerf the stock minigun. By that logic, nerf the stock medigun. That's broken logic. Awful.
Unless that class is medic for some reason. Then just leave you over there. You have fun now. Basically what I'm saying is leave competitive players alone. You can blame them for maybe the base jumper, but that's like it.
You can blame them for the caber. You can blame them for the base jumper. You can blame them for the gloves running urgently. You can blame them for the eviction notice. What else can you blame them for? You can blame them for the ambassador, probably. What else can you blame them for? What other things did competitively? You can blame the Bison. I don't think so. Sandman, maybe. Enforcer. I didn't hear a lot of complaints about the Enforcer. But you can definitely blame them for more than just that one weapon.
Valve has been kind of terrible at rebalancing TF2 weapons for a very long time.
Because they were listening to the wrong people. They were balancing the game to cater towards the wrong people by removing the fun and catering it towards balancing things towards a lower level of entry. Why? So they could get more players in and spend money on microtransactions.
It's kind of a miracle that as many weapons ended up in as good of a state as they have. And competitive really didn't factor into all that many balance changes at all. Even the updates that people will point to as being overly influenced by competitive players will flat out buff weapons banned in competitive. A release.
This is a really old change as well. Never mind, it's not. But even then, this is still banned, I think. Isn't the Cow Mangler still banned in competitive modes? Because there's literally no downside to using this in competitive mode? Yeah, so it's still banned.
These weapons that were on the borderline at the time. They didn't exactly use whitelist.tf as a fucking hit list, guys.
They objectively did. Valve, you contradict yourself by Valve reaching out to competitive players, inviting them to Valve, and asking them for feedback directly on the game's balancing. By effect, they were using the whitelist to balance the game.
I didn't mean for this to turn to a competitive diatribe. I just keep seeing the comp players ruined the game narrative popping up, and I think it's fucking stupid.
Indirectly, they did. Just objectively, they did.
I find it hilarious that some people are perfectly
All because Valve listened to the wrong people.
willing to hold Valve accountable for their poor handling of the game, and rightfully point the finger at them for general neglect, but act like they were completely helpless and had their hands tied by external forces in order to make bad balance changes.
That's a lovely straw man you got there, buddy boy. That's a lovely straw man you got going there. Valve intentionally made these decisions all for the sake of the almighty dollar, and trying to turn Team Fortress 2 into something it isn't. They very intentionally listened to the wrong people, to try to engage an entirely new sphere of players, so they can get them to buy more keys.
The eviction notice was Valve's fault, but at the very least, the current state of the GRU was something good to come out of it. And hey, that was...
Nope. Sorry. You will never convince me that health drain mechanics are good. Ever. Ever. Valve already had a competitive game, which is Counter-Strike. Curious you say that. Very curious you say that.
That was Valve's choice too. Valve is just as capable of making great...
But isn't it Valve's fault that they're clueless? Yes. See, I have Epic installed because I like Rocket League.
changes as they are poopy stupid doo-doo ones. And in that aspect, we are more alike than different. We can just
I like Rocket League! Fuck off!
rightfully point out that the Fists of Steel are completely broken, as we can say that the stock
I
fists
haven't spent a dime through Epic either.
are better than the GRU. What even is this?
Stock is just objectively better than the gloves of running urgently, sorry. In my opinion, just a really bad video. Bad video. Justifying an unjustifiable change to a weapon that did not need to be changed. That was only changed to appeal to people who did not play the vanilla game. I just think it's a bad video. Through and through. Just bad. You will never convince me otherwise. Sorry. You will never convince me otherwise. When you barely hear the arguments, I watched the entire video. Stock fists have a free 500 damage taunt. Yes, they do. And people very often forget that if you use your melee, you kill them in 2 hits. 3. Competitive. So I also believe that esports ruined game development and the direction video games have been going in, starting about 10 years ago, roughly. I fully believe that game developers and companies chasing esports, believing they can turn them into the next American football, into the next baseball, into the next soccer, absolutely destroyed an entire generation of game development. So, anyway, I think bad opinions, bad video. That's just me. So I'm curious, for all of those who like the Gloves of Running Urgently, how many of you started playing the game after 2017? After they made the change and you never experienced the old version? That's my curiosity. How many people actually enjoy the Gloves of Running Urgently because they think it's better than the old version? We have no way to know. There's no way to... I can't do that in a poll. Because all I can say is, do you like the old or the new Gru? I can at least do that. Old or new Gru? Old. New. Of course, the only ones that are going to be able to answer this truthfully are those who experienced both versions of the weapon. Do I have to answer as a new player? No. If you're a new player, you can't answer because you didn't experience both versions of the item. Thing is, like, you're fine with the new Gru because it has the same mechanic as the old one, just with a worse punishment. Like, yeah, you can still move fast, but health drain sucks. Yeah, you can also experience the old Gru on community servers that revert the change. That is true. That is true. Why is Medic allowed to freely match his scout speed to mid? Because he's healing the scout. I'm not sure why they made that change. I honestly don't know. It was something that was on the quick fix, but then they applied it to all mediguns passively. It was a buff to Medic, which I think is fine. I really see no issue with it. I'm not sure why they did it. I'm not sure if it was a result of competitive or what have you. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, the quick fix exclusive change is now on all mediguns for some reason. Yeah, I found the change bizarre. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't really have a strong opinion either way. It was a buff to medic. I don't mind it because I don't take the game that seriously. Except when I come across an incorrect opinion like fishes. Sorry, sir, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I will fist fight you over it. With my stock fists, and you can use your hot rod gloves, and I will beat the shit out of you with my superior item. Are the odds of Valve changing matchmaking to be better and reverting quick play high enough to be worth cultivating a community call to action over? There's literally no harm in trying, because the worst outcome is nothing changes. The worst outcome is nothing changes. If people call for more positive changes to the game, the worst is nothing changes. So it's, in my opinion, it's absolutely worth calling for Valve improving the matchmaking system or simply reverting it back to quick play. An improved version of quick play. Because so many people playing the game right now have either been engaging with the matchmaking system for so long or started playing after its implementation that they have no idea just how horrible of a system it is they're engaging with. It's really bad. And also, yes, bring back old game rules. 45-minute round timers for up to 45 minutes of uninterrupted play. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. I completely agree. There's literally no reason for a map to restart after every match. But how would we determine a winner and a loser? How would we determine who to give more matchmaking points to? How would we determine who's going to get the item drops because they got their matchmaking points? How are we going to keep track of scores so we can determine when to deliver an item drop based off of a contract completion, or when to give them stars so they can buy something inside of an in-game store? How would that be fair to the person spending money on the game to improve their rank in their battle pass? It should at least not restart the map if people vote to stay on the same map. Here's the problem, man. If the teams that are put into the server are hideously unbalanced, when the round restarts, the teams will remain unbalanced. Without something like an auto-scramble feature, the game's just going to continue to be a roll, and an absolute fucking mess. And nothing will change. So Valve fundamentally needs to go back to a better version of the game that was quick play. Longer round timers, team scramble, auto scramble, all of these things, auto balance, just need to be brought back to the game, because the game objectively played better. Why is there no team scramble? Well, you can't change because you can't change teams in a competitive game. You can't change teams because that would be unfair to the person who did really well in the previous match and would have gotten more points on their battle pass to have gotten their item drop. Because if you change their team forcibly, then you can't determine a real winner and a loser. Therefore, they can't rank up and get their next level in their battle pass and spend money on the in-game store because they got little points to spend on, because they got little points and stars to spend. That's why you can't have them change teams, because there must be a definitive winner and a loser. Otherwise, how are they going to get their case drop? How are they going to get their skin? But what's the point of a casual level if you don't get any reward? You'll see. You'll see. Very excited about this new video. Very excited. No, winning a match in TF2 does not get you an item drop, but it really seemed like Valve was trying to gear TF2 up for something that resembled that. Almost like they were copying one of their other pre-established titles. I wonder what that would be. I wonder what that game would be that Valve maintained the incestuous relationship with since 2012. If it works in one game, it must work in the other. Yeah, just bring those features over to TF2. Totally nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. You'll see. Don't worry. All in due time, my friends. Anyways, that's a long enough stream. Thanks for hanging out. We had a good time. Played some games. Watched a bad video. Sorry, Fish. Shitty video. I will never agree with you, and I think your stance on the gloves of running urgently is just wrong in every way, shape, and form. The item should have never been changed. Good time. Probably gonna stream again sometime over the weekend. Not sure. We'll see. Gonna grind away at a video for my second channel that should be done relatively quickly, hopefully quickly. Probably by Sunday or Monday you'll see it, if not soon after. Main channel video is in the works. I have been very, very, very hardcore writing a script. Like, the script itself is already like 6,000 words, and I'm not even like a third of the way done. It's gonna be a very long video, but it is gonna feel so good. It's going to feel so good to let what's now almost a decade's worth of angst and disdain for Valve to just let that out into this fucking video. I'm so excited. So excited, because it's been too long for people to really understand why Valve did what they did with Meet Your Match. A lot of people don't have the perspective now because they started playing after 2017, so they have no fucking idea. Very, very excited. Very excited. Anyways, if you want notifications for when I go live, I have a Discord linked in the description below. You can join that if you want to. You can't talk in there, but you get notifications for when I go live, for when I upload a video. And that's about it. Thanks for hanging out. I missed a lot of donations. Let me read these donations. I didn't read them earlier. I do apologize. What have I missed? Do I like Watamote? Yes. Love the manga. Favorite Dragon Ball Z arc? Probably the Frieza arc. Thoughts on My Hero? Okay, we got there. What else did I miss? Dungeon Meshiv. Not read it or watched it yet. Quintessential quintuplets? No idea. Let's see. Talk about Akame. I'm assuming Blue Archive later. I love seeing certain people push that Valve needs to moderate chat in TF2 after they just walked in and treated it like it was their space. Yeah, pretty stupid. Mute and block features exist in the game. If you don't want to see what someone is saying, you can just turn them off. It's that easy. Better Call Saul, will watch it. Valve shouldn't listen to comp players for balance changes, just as they shouldn't listen to people who march into TF2 and demand chat to be a safe space. Completely agree. Yes. The game should not warp itself to accommodate you. Use the tools that are at your disposal to curate your own experience. Simple as. Anyways, take care.